Now I'm about to meet three ladies, each with their own unique stories of how they found new friendship and a new life with Royale Life. They've invited me over for a coffee, so let's go and have a chat and find out more about their special stories. So ladies, can I just say thank you so much for inviting me to come and join you. I can't wait to hear all of your stories. It's lovely to meet you in person. So Beryl, tell me a bit about how you started your journey with Royale Life.
My husband died 7 years ago, so I've got a 4-bedroom split-level house, which is very hard to manage. And my daughter lives in Margate. Son lives in Canada, so I'm not going to Canada. That was important for me to be near the family as I grow older. So I started to look before the pandemic in Broadstairs and flats and apartments, but nothing was quite right, and they didn't have their own space. I'm an outside person. I like to be outside, and I wanted my own space outside. And then after looking at sort of things, I read my Saga magazine, and we looked in there, and Herne Bay, my daughter came to look at the plot, because in the pandemic you can't move, and then I found out that Stately Albion were made in Wales, South Wales. So I went to look at all the show houses there, daughter came to look at the plot, and that's how it started.
That's fantastic. And so it was an advert in Saga magazine.
Yes.
And one of the things we advertise, which you may have seen, is the 100% market value. Is that something that you took advantage of?
It is. I mean, when I first contacted Sharon, she obviously sent me lots of info and everything. And the 100% market value, you tend not to believe.
Yeah.
But I had the estate agent come and value it for me before they came.
Yeah.
And when they came, they offered me very similar to what he was, because I don't have to pay the estate agent. I don't have to pay a solicitor. So it was a very good deal, and I'm just really, and there's no hassle. I don't have to have anybody around the house. In the pandemic, it was all difficult anyway, so it was very easy, very easy.
That's great, because it takes away, the first thing I think people think of when they're moving is the stress.
Yes.
There's so much to organise, there's so much to worry about. So I'm really glad that
didn't have to do any of that, you see, nothing.
Brilliant. That's great to hear.
Really good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, Anju, I understand that you had a different journey to that, and I believe you had seen it here, you were interested,
Yes.
but you bought from an existing resident, is that right?
Yes. Then my husband passed away about 7 years ago as well, and we had lovely life, and we had a beautiful home in London. And I could not live in the same house for such a long time. I've lived there, but I had to move from there. So I needed a smaller place to manage on my own. So my daughter was helping me out. And she said to me, "Mum, would you like to come to Herne Bay and have a look around there?" So I said, "I've never been to Herne Bay." So she said, "All right, Mum, you would like this area. It's lovely." We saw on the internet by chance, the previous owner was selling their house, and they said, we said, "Would you like us to come and view it?" So we arranged a viewing, and I loved it. And as soon as I saw it, it was like a little heaven tucked away, and it was beautiful, and I thought, this is my space.
And that's so important. So
yes.
Doreen, last but not least, I know you also came via a similar route to Beryl, but slightly different.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I just lived in Beltinge.
Yeah.
Been living there for over 40 years with my husband, my mother, dogs, what have you. Then sadly my husband died 6 years ago, and then my mother died 3 years ago, and I lost my dogs. I was there on my own with a big bungalow, self-contained annex. And I was just lonely.
Okay.
And my daughter and son-in-law came, "What's wrong?" I said, "I'm going to sell the bungalow." She was a bit upset. She missed her dad, obviously, what her dad did. And unknowns to me, they left my bungalow and came straight down here and went to see Sharon. Sharon took them round, and Sarah said, "Oh, my mum's going to love it here." And I've never looked back.
Great.
It's a different life, isn't it? It's just a completely different life with lovely people.
It is.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
You know, I mean, lovely neighbours on the rise, absolutely wonderful, and I don't regret one bit.
I'm here today to meet a lovely couple that decided to swap Cannes in the south of France for this Royale Life development right here in Kent. I'm told they might be in, so let's go and meet them and find out more about their epic journey of crossing the Channel to move back to the UK. So Joy, Colin, thank you so much for inviting me into your lovely new home. It's gorgeous. Now I understand you've had quite the journey and quite the story. We'd love to hear about it. So am I right in thinking you chose this lovely development here in Kent over France? Is that right? So you used to live in France?
Yeah.
Tell me about your life in France before.
Well, we had a lovely life in France, didn't we?
Very much so, yeah.
We were there for 15 years, and we had a lovely home, and we were the only English people living on our domain, but everybody embraced us and welcomed us to the domain. And then we lived, you know, well, and then about 4 or 5 years ago, you were very, very ill with heart failure, and life started to become difficult.
Well, we went to a little village called Finneguer for a drink one Sunday morning, and there was a chap next to us, sitting next to us outside, and he had an English newspaper. So Joy said to me, "He's English." So I said, "Oh." Anyway, he must have heard us talking, so he started talking to us. And he was a really nice man, and then all of a sudden he started crying. So I said, "What's the matter?" So I said, "I lost my wife 2 years ago." He said, "And I'm so lonely here." And that put that seed in my head that, you know, we should go back to England.
What happened next? How did you hear about Royale Life?
So we came home, it's like fate really, we came home, put the television on, and what should be on the television but Jane McDonald, Royal Life. We said, oh, they look lovely, don't they? So we went through all the places, and I said, well, that's not far from our friends, it's not far from family, it's not far from Andrew. Let's have a look.
So have you made friends since moving
Yeah.
here?
Yes, yeah, we've got next door very good friends
Yeah.
with her.
Good.
Place, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have with what I call, we're not people that like to have people all the time. We like our independence and our privacy.
Yeah.
And but we've made friends.
Yeah.
And they've welcomed us, really lovely. I
Good.
think we've got a welcome card from everybody on
But
that.
you got here.
Yeah,
So when you arrived,
Yeah.
now you've done the virtual
Yeah.
viewing, you've had a
Yeah.
good chat with Sharon, she's
Yeah.
looked after you. But
yeah.
talk me through what it was like to get here,
Oh,
to
right.
arrive here,
Oh.
to see the home for the
Yeah.
first time, to walk in for the first time.
Well, she said she was so good. She said, Joy, I've made sure it's nice and warm because it was cold. She said, it's all been cleaned and everything. And she kept sending us pictures of it, you know, with the snow, when it snowed and everything else. The sold sign.
The time you moved in, you qualify for the draw of our big £100,000 giveaway.
That would be nice.
So, you know, if anyone's watching,
Yeah.
any residents this year
Yeah.
that moved in
Yeah.
from the 1st of March and onwards
Yeah.
qualify.
For
And
the-
somebody this year, you know, one of our
Well,
lucky residents is going
yeah.
to win
Well,
£100,000. So
Whoever it is, I mean, we've never ever won anything in our lives, have we, before?
if, you know, if someone's watching and they're thinking about it, and like you said, they don't need the big house anymore, they don't want
No,
stairs anymore,
no.
they don't want a big garden anymore, would you recommend this lifestyle to
100%.
someone?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. If you'd like to hear more real life stories just like Joy and Colin's, visit www.royallife.com and head over to the testimonial page.